Well, hey guys, I'm back with another video. The post-mortem, I guess you could say, after the first round of the 2020 NHL entry draft. Obviously, it was a pretty exciting day. Check out the video I have on my reaction to the top six picks it was in the draft yesterday. So that's pretty exciting. But without further ado, let's get into it here. So the Rangers, obviously, we all knew they were going to take Lafreniere. I don't know why they teased people with that. He's a world class player. He's going to be a generational talent, probably at minimum a franchise player. There is a difference between generational talents and franchise players. Obviously, you guys, you can, I guess, judge who do you think is what in terms of that. But obviously, he's going to be a great player regardless. So Quentin Byfield goes second to the Los Angeles Kings. I think it's a great pickup for LA. Obviously, we all know I wanted him for the Ottawa Senators, but as a Sens fan, we can't get everything we want in life, unfortunately. Quentin Byfield, though, I mean, he goes to LA. He's a great player. He's going to be a great player for them. He's a big centerman. LA is, like I said, they're going to look pretty good next year. And at number 3, the Ottawa Senators get Tim Stutzel. I'm so excited about this player. He sounds so good. I've read so many scouting reports on him because I knew that was more than likely the guy Ottawa was going to get as soon as I found out they were picking third with one of their picks. He's a guy, he skates really well. His edges are unbelievable. He passes the puck so well. He sets up his line mates. He's got a decent release on his shot too. So that's a good thing. And at 4, the Detroit Red Wings get Lucas Raymond. He sounds like a guy who's got loads of speed as well. He's got tons of talent. He's a guy that works hard too, it sounds like. So Detroit gets a good pickup there. And then at number 5, you did the thing, Dorian. I told you not to do that. You took Jake Sanderson. Why would you do that? Anyways, yes, the Ottawa Senators did end up taking Jake Sanderson like I thought they would. So, I mean, what can we really do about it now? It is what it is. I guess, don't get me wrong. Like I've said before, I believe Sanderson is going to be a great player, but I don't think he's going to be a guy who's going to put up really high-end offensive numbers like the Sens need. And I was hoping they were going to take a forward, either Cole Perfetti, Marco Rossi, Lucas Raymond if he was available. I wasn't sure if Detroit was going to take him or not. Obviously, the Sens couldn't have done that because Detroit did end up taking him. But I was hoping they were going to get a good player, a good forward, I should say, nonetheless. So that obviously wasn't the case, and I'm a little bit upset about that. Then at number 6, the Anaheim Ducks pick up defenseman Jamie Drysdale. We know Drysdale's a good player. He's a great skater, great offensive defenseman. He put up good numbers in junior as well, posting 9 goals, 38 assists for 47 points, and a total of 49 games, as my notes tell me here. He sounds like he's going to be a great player. Obviously, there's some people that kind of had a knock on him with his work ethic or whatever. He's inconsistent. Maybe he's not, he's lethargic some nights he's really on. So it should be interesting to see with him. I thought he might fall even further. I was a little bit maybe surprised Anaheim took him at 6 just because of that whole thing with him maybe not, being the most consistent guy in the world or something like that. So I think Anaheim did the right thing, though, taking Drysdale. If you can refine his game, make him a guy that works hard, he's consistent every night. If you can get that out of him, you're getting a great player. The New Jersey Devils took Alexander Holtz at number 7. He sounds like he's going to be a really good player, too. At number 8, Buffalo takes Jack Quinn with their pick. I think it's a great pick for Buffalo. I think they get a steal there, much as I thought they got a steal last year with picking up Dylan Cousins. I think he's a guy too that's going to fit in really well for the Sabres, I should say. For Jack Quinn, I think he's going to be a great player for them too. I mean, he was slotted, I think, around 10 or something like that, but his stock was rising towards the draft, and he got drafted at 8th. I think it's a good spot for Buffalo to take him. They got a good player. And, I mean, that's pretty much it for the top 8. Obviously, there's some more intriguing picks as it goes down, but this is kind of more of a rough outline of the draft, the first round of the draft, I should say. And as we know, the goalie, Yaroslav Askarov, he goes 11th overall to Nashville, and that's not surprising that Nashville picked him up. Nashville really seems to like their goalies and their defense, but they do pick up Askarov. Obviously, they need a plan B, a successor to Pecorine. A lot of people think that's going to be UC Saros. I don't really think so. I think eventually Askarov's going to definitely be the guy over Saros. I think Saros is a good goalie. I don't know if he's a true number one. I think he's a really good 1A type of goalie, or 1B, I should say, but he's not really one of those guys that I think can really take the reins and be a true number one goalie for the Nashville Predators going forward. Now to the fun stuff. So from an Ottawa Senators perspective, what's the deal here? We take Tim Stutzel at 3rd overall. Like I said earlier, I'm going to get more into him now. World-class skater, really good on his edges, has tons of poise with the puck on his stick, can skate in high danger areas and into traffic and not slow down either. He just sounds like such a great player, one of the best players. I mean, Ottawa hasn't had a forward like that in I don't know how many years. And right now, I just want to take this moment. Doug Wilson, if I know you're probably not watching this, but if you ever come across this video, thank you from the bottom of my heart for making that trade, because that draft pick you gave us turned into Tim Stutzel, and now it's essentially Erik Karlsson for Tim Stutzel, Josh Norris, Chris Tierney, Rudolph Spalsers, and of course Dylan DeMello was in that trade, but we ended up trading him and we got a pick for it, so that's good too. So thank you, Doug Wilson. Unfortunately, now you're stuck with Erik Karlsson. Maybe he'll come around and be a good player, but obviously he's quite a few years older than Stutzel. Stutzel could potentially end up having quite a bit better career too as it goes on. Obviously he's a forward, but thank you, Doug, from the bottom of my heart. So anyways, that was great to have the Ottawa Senators picking up Tim Stutzel. And who else did they get? Jake Sanderson. That guy. Yeah, he's an Ottawa Senator too, Dorian, I told you not... I mean, I guess it doesn't matter now, but yes, Jake Sanderson, he is an Ottawa Senator. I don't know. I mean, the Sens, they pick up a player who's good defensively, but just because we were bad defensively, did we need another defensive defenseman? I mean, we have guys like Yarosh, Anglin, guys like that. I think Shabbat's okay defensively too. I mean, we have guys that are good defensively. I don't know why we had to go and get another defensive defenseman, but it is what it is. It's just the most Ottawa Senators pick ever, it seems like. So they take Jake Sanderson. And then with their number 28 pick, they take Ridley Greig. I think that's an interesting name for sure. But name aside, I sounds like he's a decent player. He had 26 goals, 24 assists, and 60 points in 56 games last year for the Brandon Wheat Kings, I believe. He's a centerman. Ottawa really needs centers, but I would have preferred they picked a high-end center at 5th overall instead of 28th overall, but hopefully he'll be a good player for the Sens as well. And going forward, looking at the Sens roster, we can see that Tim Stutzel's a great player, but is he going to play on the wing or at center? What do you think as a Sens fan? Comment down below what you think. Because, is Tierney going to be our first-line center again? So, I don't know. Stutzel's going to be out there dipping and diving, zipping around. He's going to zig and Tierney's going to zag because, no offense, I love Chris Tierney, but he's not a number one center. He's better suited to be a third-line center. And, it's just going to remind me of the time I went to floor hockey. I think I was like a 14-year-old. I came in there. It was like only, my second ever time playing some hockey. It was like a floor hockey, so we had a ball and stuff. And my instructor, he zips a pass over to me for a one-time, and I completely whiff it. I was so embarrassed, my first shift out there. So anyways, what I'm trying to get at is I hope that's not the case with Stutzel and Tierney, because Stutzel is more of a setup man, it sounds like, than a shooter, even though he's got a decent shot. So I don't want to see Stutzel zipping a pass over and Tierney's going to totally whiff it. But who knows? Tierney is a guy that he's kind of a Swiss Army knife. He can play up and down the lineup, even though he's definitely not an elite number one center. But I really hope that it works out and he plays well for the Sens here going forward. And then now my favorite player on the Ottawa Senators, Jake Sanderson, I'm being sarcastic, of course. is where's he gonna fit? That's the question now on defense too. That I mean, as much as I didn't want the Sens to draft him, it is kind of interesting to know where he might fit in the lineup on the defensive depth chart. I mean, he doesn't sound like he's going to play for them next year. It sounds like he's going to North Dakota, so he doesn't sound like a guy that's going to step right in for them next year. It sounds like Stutzel probably will step right in for the Sens next year, so that should be exciting to see. And what else I'm really excited about is what the Sens forward group is going to look like. We have Josh Norris coming up, Alex Formenton, Drake Batherson, Logan Brown. I mean, he's kind of got to get his act together, but I think he can. And we'll see what happens from there. I mean, we got other good players too coming. Rudolph Balcers, I think, is making a case to be full-time there. We got Eric Brandstrom on the back end who could potentially make a case to be full-time as well. So there's a lot of stuff at play, and I'm really excited about it, and I'm excited to keep making videos for you guys. So please like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys again soon.